DaCCA program has given members of the community the voice which they didn't have before, and information which also they didn't have before, so that going forward we see on how we shall mitigate effects of climate change.
Before, we were doing things by not knowing that we are doing things wrongly. But through DaCCA came to educate us to know more about our change of climate. So we begin seeing the big difference, whereby we begin by protecting our environment.
We knew that if you don't have land, you cannot survive. But after training a lot, we realized however small the piece of land is, you can survive.
This DaCCA pia wametusaidia mambo na hata leadership, mambo na lobbying. Tunaweza fanyaje to lobby? If there is an issue maybe within the community inahitaji msaada in terms of development and finance, tunaweza lobby kwa njia gani? Maana hapo kitambo tulikuwa tujui. Wewe unaenda tu, unafikiri unaenda kulobby ama kuomba, kumbe unagombana. Baadaye hatujui. Lakini walipotufunza, sasa hizi tunajua at least we can write a proposal, tupeleke pale na itusaidie.
DaCCA 3, spanning 2024 to 2027, is a flagship program focused on strengthening climate resilience for smallholder farmers in Kenya's Lake Victoria Basin.
I'm Phoebe Atieno Nyadero from Rockfield Farm. I'm the treasurer, co-chair, CDF. We've worked with DaCCA, and our involvement with them has been very fruitful. Especially youth and women. And as for the women, they've supported quite a number of groups, this farm being one of them. The main thing that I can talk about here is the biogas plant that was constructed with the help of DaCCA. And I can say we've seen it helped the farmers, especially the dairy farmers from Kochia. At least I can say there are 3 other farmers who saw the biogas that DaCCA had constructed here, and they were also able to construct their own. So that was a positive impact.
Operating in Homa Bay and Migori counties, and soon extending to Siaya and Busia counties, this initiative empowers communities to combat climate change while alleviating poverty.
DaCCA also has done a lot of training, especially for the youth. We were taught how to use the bioslurry to make nurseries, seedlings, and plant more trees, and also other farm products, especially the leafy African vegetables. So it was from that training that the youth are now able to have their own tree nurseries and get seedlings, and also sell them and have at least a shilling in their pockets.
The first pillar of DaCCA 3 focuses on advocacy. It ensures that the voices of the smallholder farmers are heard and reflected in local government plans, policies, and budgets.
My name is George Othina. I'm the ward administrator for Kwa Ward. The community have become so much aware that as a county government, when we are coming up with our programs, annual ADP, annual development programs, short-term programs, the community are so much aware on what they need for themselves as a community when it comes to effects of climate change mitigation. For instance, in my office, being that DaCCA has always involved me, I must ensure that members of DaCCA, members, the WCCR or the CRC members are involved during public participation, so that when we are doing annual development plan, where we're doing CBROP, the review of the budget and everything, every public participation that we do, members of DaCCA program are involved so that they can review, they can put into programs, they can put into plan programs that will mitigate effects of climate change. Then they will oversee if the plans are being implemented. So in that case, we have given members of the community the voice. DaCCA program has given members of the community the voice which they didn't have before, and information which also they didn't have before, so that going forward we see on how we shall mitigate effects of climate change.
By fostering stronger relationships between communities and local government authorities, the program bridges the gap and builds mutual trust. Through workshops, training sessions, and facilitated dialogues, duty bearers are equipped to understand and prioritize community needs.
And through the DaCCA organizations, it came to capacity builders by telling us to know how we should put our priorities in lining with the county government, whereby we did not know at earlier the importance of public participation. It is DaCCA which came to enlighten us on how we can use the public participation, and we are also there to attend. We begin attending the public participation to give our priorities by giving out that if county government can support us with early maturity seeds like Western seeds, so we put the provision of early maturity seeds, and also we put issue of establishing of a nursery site. The importance of establishing a nursery site within our ward was going to help us to plant more trees, to enable us to have a lot of rainfall, and also to do away with the deforestation. By that moment, most of us just knew that public participation of the county government was just meant for things like schools, roads, and others. And they came to know the importance of that public participation, that we as the community, we have a right to participate and give our priorities to the government, and government can implement them through the budget making process of CIDP and ADP. After that, we have been also told that now that the DaCCA is working within Migori County, we have also to work closely with the office of the governor, who is the ward admin office, which is at the ward level. So we are also visiting to know the time of the budget making and period, which we came to know that is normally begin by June. So each and every year, each and every month of June of the year, we normally know that we should now be ready to attend the public participation.
This inclusive process ensures that the climate change adaptation strategies align with the community priorities on the ground.
Tulikuwa na challenges sababu watu hawakujua, hatukuwa tumefanyiwanga capacity building. Watu walikuwa ignorant, hawajui what to do. Lakini vile DaCCA iliingia kwa hii area, imekuwa eye opener to us. Like a person like me, through trainings, through benchmarkings, through exchange exchange programs, exchange visits, imefanya tumejua a lot. Vile kuna wengine hawakujua, unaweza weka hata kama ni pond. Unaweza weka fish pond, unaweza weka karatasi, uweke fish pond yako, na uweke fingerlets na upate samaki.
Naitwa Benson Chacha Mwita. Natoka Masaba Ward, Kuria West Sub-Count. Mimi ni CRC chairperson Masaba Ward. Niko na CRC 8 na niko pia na triple CR 22, kiongeza wote wanakuwa 30. Nataka kwanza nishukuru DaCCA kwa kuja Masaba Ward, na before DaCCA kuja Masaba Ward tumekuwa na shida mingi sana. Tulikuwa hatuna mbele wala nyuma, tulikuwa tujui haki zetu, tulikuwa tujui jinsi gani tunaweza jitetea kwa watu, jinsi gani tunaweza dai haki zetu kwa county ama kwa national government, kwa mbunge, kwa MCA, hatukuwa tunajua. Lakini wakati DaCCA imekuja kwa ground na tukaanza mafundisho, sasa hii tumekuwa watu ambao tunaweza jitetea wenyewe kwa community, tunaweza jitetea pia wenyewe kwa viongozi na pia hata kwa county. Naweza anza na DaCCA agrees wametufundisha mambo ya defocus, wametufundisha mambo ya accountability, wametufundisha mambo ya negotiation, wametufundisha mambo ya lobbying, wametufundisha jinsi ya kuprepare CAP ili kwamba tuhakikishe pia kwa county, na pia wametufundisha mambo ya lobbying, pia wametufundisha mambo ya grease. Nikikuja DaCCA pia wamefanya kazi na sisi kwa mambo ya vikundi hapa chini. Wametufundisha mambo ya kutengeneza compost manure, wametufundisha mambo ya kutumia hizi herbs za kienyeji ili tunaweza tibu mashamba zetu. Na pia nataka niwashukuru kwa sababu tulikuwa na mashamba ambayo yalikuwa yameharibika. Tulikuwa wakulima hapa kwetu walikuwa wanatumia mbolea hizi za maduka, ndio walikuwa wanatumia kupanda mahindi, kupanda maharagwe, lakini tangu wakati wamekuja wametufundisha njia ya kuboresha udongo wetu. Saa hii tumeanza kuona matokeo mazuri kwa community kwa sababu tumeporesha udongo wetu na compost manure na tumeona mahali ambapo tumefikia. Nikikuja pia kwa DaCCA ambayo wanaitwa SASWAT wametuconnect na county na stakeholder wote wa county, department zote za county wametuconnect na wao, na tangu wameanza kutuconnect na wao tumereview CAP yetu ya Masaba. Sasa hii tumereview, hii ni mwaka wa 4 ambayo tumereview CAP yetu, na CAP yetu ya Masaba pia inaenda pamoja na ADP ya county, na tumeona mafanikio kupitia kwa hiyo CAP. Tumeshawakilisha CAP yetu kwa department ya water, na water saa hii maji tumechimbiwa visima 3 Masaba. Moja imechimbwa Kohanga, moja imechimbwa Nyamagagana, moja imechimbwa Masaba Ward, Masaba Center, na kuna moja ambayo pia tunatarajia kuchimbiwa next month hapa Kurutiange, mahali ambapo tuko saa hii. Na hiyo ni department ya water. Tumehakikisha pia CAP yetu kwa department ya agriculture. Farmer wamepewa inputs, wamepewa farm inputs, wamepewa mahindi, wamepewa maharagwe, wamepewa mchugu karanga. Hizo ni zile ambazo kutoka kwa department ya agriculture. Na livestock pia tumepeleka CAP yetu hapo county. Livestock wametupea ng'ombe za grade, wamepewa vikundi 2 Masaba, na kuna moja ambayo pia promise next year wanatuletea. Kikundi kimoja ambacho kimepewa kinaitwa Masaba Disability, imepewa ng'ombe. Kuna kikundi kingine ambacho kinaitwa Tara Tunyole, kimepewa pia ng'ombe kupitia kwa CAP ambayo tumekuwa nayo, ambayo tulikuwa tumekaa chini na tumetengeneza na CCR wa Masaba Ward. Pia hiyo ni bio. Kwa hivyo kupitia pia kwa department ya agriculture pia tumepewa miti, tumepanda kwa mashule, tumepeleka CAP kwa sababu CAP na ADP yetu ya county zinaenda pamoja. Tumepewa miti, tumepanda kwa mashule za Masaba Ward, tumepanda saa hii shule 3, tumepanda Bohorera, tumepanda Kurutiange, na pia tumepanda Sagegi. Hizo ni zile ambazo tumepata, na pia kuna vikundi ambazo saa hii pia zimepata miti kutoka kwa county. Kwa mfano kikundi ambacho kinaitwa Banibi tumepata miti kutoka kwa county, na kuna kikundi kingine kinaitwa Waito kimepata miti kutoka kwa county. So ni kupitia kwa hiyo CAP na kwa kupitia kwa mafundisho ambayo tumefundishwa na DaCCA program, tumefundishwa na CREP, tumefundishwa na GRIS, tumefundishwa na SASWAT. Saa hii ametufanya tumejulikana watu wa Masaba. Hii timu ambayo inaitwa CRC imejulikana na county. Jana pia tumeitwa na David Gavana wa Migori ametuita kwenda kujua tuna engage namna gani na community, kwenda kujua CAP yetu tunafanya nini kuhusiana na county. So tumekaa chini na yeye, tumewakilisha, tumempea CAP yetu, ameisoma, ameiangalia, na ADP ya mwaka huu zinaenda sote pamoja. Amejaribu kuangalia pia kwa CIDP ile maneno yote ambayo tumepropose pia yako ndani ya CAP. So naweza sema kwamba kupitia kwa mafundisho ambayo tumefundishwa na DaCCA, especially hizo group zote 3, CREP, Agris, SASWAT, saa hii zimefanya tumejulikana.
DaCCA 3 strengthens community groups, local organizations and consortia to claim their rights and take an active role in planning and budgeting processes.
DaCCA found me when I was totally green when it comes to issues of climate change. And through their capacity building, through sensitization, through several meetings, I've been empowered, fully empowered to be a climate change who has been not only recognized in my sub-county, but at the county level, national level, and even today at the international level. Because I've been awarded with the UN As an environmental champion, I have a certificate for that through the activities that we've been doing. DaCCA has really done a lot in the community, because it's through DaCCA that is when we started advocating for best practices in addressing impacts of climate change. Like the area where I'm coming from has a lot of impacts of climate change, especially the hazards that are really affecting us are floods during the El Nino period, but also La Nina, that is a dry spell during the dry spell. And so through that, there's several mitigation measures on best practices to both adapt on issues, on the same impacts that I've just talked. Through DaCCA, we formulated the Community Climate Change Adaptation Action Plans, or we usually call them CAPs. And the CAPs were to help us to meaningfully participate during the decision-making processes with the county government, especially public participation on the formulation of the CIDP. Here we're talking about the 5-year plan, and also during the ADP. CAPs personally identifies the hazards and then comes up with what are the coping mechanisms, and then identifies what are the adaptation options. Apart from the adaptation option, it checks on the activities that are supposed to be done and looks onto who are the key stake players when we are doing such kind of activities. And then it checks on what are the time frames that the activity might take and what is the cost of the activity, plus also the objectives that is going to meet. So this tool has been very, very helpful, especially when we were developing the CIDP. It played a vital role and still plays a vital role when we are doing our ADPs, so that the priorities that we are coming up with are purposely addressing impacts of climate change that is affecting the communities.
Through capacity building initiatives, civil society organizations are equipped with the tools needed to lead climate change adaptations efforts.
Who has been capacity builded with the DaCCA program, the empowerment that we really got, my group was one that also benefited on the funds of FLOCA. But it's not only FLOCA that we benefited for, because we've been capacity builded also on issues of proposal development. And we've done several proposals, not only me, but looking onto some other wards that were engaged under DaCCA program, we've seen a transition on the same, whereby groups can now apply because they have the skills to come up with effective proposals that can really tap other resources, so that we can see on how best we can address impacts of climate change within the communities.
First, we started by training the government. We started by training the county government officials to understand how climate change is, to understand the issues of governance, and also to understand how they can be accountable on their action that they do.
DaCCA has supported, and we appreciate their support, the policy and legislative framework that is currently operational in Homa Bay County. If I can recall, it is DaCCA that financed the process of drafting the Homa Bay County climate change policy way back from around 2018, even before I joined the department. When I joined, I got this process of policy making in the process, but I am glad that it was finalized in 2021, in late 2021, December, when we finally had the climate change policy passed or approved by the county assembly.
So I would say the program has been very impactful. It's not only visible, it's been very impactful and profitable to the people.
Agroecological practices take center stage, offering sustainable farming solutions that reduce reliance on harmful inputs. Training sessions, micro-projects, and community-wide information campaigns empower farmers to protect their livelihoods while contributing to the environmental conservation.
This demo farm, this is where we learn from. This is where we train ourselves on how to grow food throughout the year. At the moment we have DaCCA training us on agroecology, and before DaCCA came, we were doing things differently, though we had learned a few things, but with DaCCA we have learned quite a lot. I have tried to make a biofertilizer for my vegetables, for my beans, and I've been able to make sure that the vegetables are free from pests, just using what I have around me. We have also learned from other farmers. We have gone for exchange visits to see what other farmers are doing, and I think DaCCA has given us as farmers a weapon to fight hunger in our community.
The impact of DaCCA 3 is already visible. Local governments are responsive, communities are better organized, and farmers are adapting to a changing climate with confidence and innovation.
The most important thing is that to make a whole village change their minds. We are also changing the minds of the government officers who did not believe that ecological farming is possible. They have come to our farms and seen ecological farming in practice.
I really want to appreciate DaCCA program in Kwa Ward, which has been very important in so many aspects of climate change.
Kama DaCCA isingekuja hapa, bado community haingejua kitu ambacho ingekuwa inafanya ni nini. Hatungejua ni nini, hatungejua haki yetu. Lakini sasa kupitia kwa mafundisho ambayo tumefundishwa mambo ya lobbying, mambo ya negotiation, mambo ya public participation. So tukiingia hapo tunaingia tukiwa na uchasiri, tunaingia tukiwa na confidence, tunaingia hapo tukiwa na mashaka, hatuwezi nyamazisha. Wakisema kwamba tunyamaze, mikono inaenda juu. Wote tunainua mikono juu na kusema hapa lazima tuangalie tutendee haki.
The program's unique approach linking advocacy, capacity building and direct actions ensures that climate resilience is not just a concept, but a reality for the Lake Victoria Basin. Together, we are transforming challenges into opportunities and dreams into achievements. This is DaCCA 3, empowering communities, strengthening resilience, and building a sustainable future.